Welcome again, everybody, to another edition of First Person, a 2021 Happy New Year edition of First Person on Press Pros, is always brought to you by the Precision Strip Company up in Minster, Ohio. As I talk about so many times, a great neighbor, a great supporter of all good things in those cities there of Minster and New Bremen in Algois County. They couldn't be a better neighbor, and of course, they couldn't be a better sponsor for us and the things we do here on Press Pros Magazine, specifically on First Person. Great place to work, whether you're starting or finishing a career. Check them out, the Precision Strip Company in Minster. It has been tough. It has been tough to do First Person. I'm not going to lie to you because of the situation with COVID and people's sensitivities to that, but we're honored to have Adam Toohey, the undefeated at this point head coach of the basketball Red Devils here at Tip City High School. And Adam, thanks for taking the time. Lots to talk about in 8 minutes, so we'll try to rush through this as quickly as we can. But Happy New Year to you and the 5-0 Red Devils.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year. It's New Year. We were 5-0 last year is kind of what we were saying today. And, what can we do this year? And, a lot of that's in the past. We haven't played since, I think, December 18th. So big week this week with 3 games, big rivalry game with Butler. We've got Stebbins Tuesday, we got, Stebbins Friday, and we got Fairborn Tuesday, so a big week for us. We'll see how our guys respond.
This has got to be killing people in this community, and I'll tell you why I say that. You were with us 2 or 3 weeks ago on our Wednesday night huddle, with apologies for the audio and video issues that we had with that. But wanted to get together and talk with you again. It has to be hard on people. This is a basketball town. This has got a rich legacy and tradition here going back and even beyond Frank Goldsberry and Matt Pond and the great teams here. And here you are playing as entertaining a basketball as they've played here in years, and people can't see it.
Yeah, it's tough to not have the stands full. Senior night was hard, just because these guys have done so much, and what it would have been like to have our whole stands full. We played Butler and Troy. In Sydney, our gym's packed. Our student section, their student section's packed. So it's certainly been different. I think our guys have adjusted well to it, but this would definitely be a team the community would want to rally behind and come support, and would come out in droves and have young kids watch these guys and idolize them and say, hey, I want to be that guy in high school when I grow up. So it's been tough, but it is good. We have the live stream that people can watch and follow, and people follow up with either text or calls after games. So yeah, it has been good.
You're winning, and winning in an exciting fashion, because I saw the last game you played at Troy. And you opened my eyes because you shot 54% that night, shot 60-some-odd% in the first half, killed it from three-point range, shared the basketball, got out and ran. And as Ben Knosman told me afterwards, he said, this is the most fun I've ever had. We're good. We've been together for 4 years. And he said, this is fun basketball. Shooters, yeah. A shooting team.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. We want to have fun. Joy is our theme this year. And we do a lot of shooting in practice, out of season. Our guys are really committed to trying to get better at shooting. And I think having coachable kids too, and guys that are willing to change and adjust. But what helps with that is that some of our best shooters have taken our advice and changed and adjusted. So the younger guys see, okay, they listen to you. Now I'm going to try to listen the same way. Some of our best shooters are in our younger grades, we feel like, coming. So yeah, really excited with how fun it's been so far.
The issue, though, with the shooting team is, and we were just talking before we turned the camera on about Dave Zeller, who was the longtime coach and good friend of mine at Piqua. And Z was the best shooter I've ever seen as a coach. Played at Miami and played with the Royals in the NBA, and he always said, hey, you got to play. And in fact, his people will smile when they hear this. He used to say, hey, Fricker's got to shoot, and they got to play. And if you can, how do you keep the edge? It's boring to do it in practice. It just becomes mundane, and you want to go out and be challenged.
Yeah, we change up a lot of things. We put constraints on them a lot of times when we shoot. We don't usually just shoot, just to get some shots up. It's always a competition, or they have to change something different. We had guys shooting, okay, we say you got to make 3 at a spot to move on, but the first one you have to shoot with your heels on the line, a 3, and then the second one you have to shoot 2 steps behind it. So we try to change some things. I've just challenged guys, or we'll say, hey, this guy has to make 5 in a row instead of 3 in a row to move on, or you can only shoot bank shots to move on. So we try to keep that focus changing, and that really just helps them, their brain stay engaged. They're not just, jacking up a couple shots. But no, I know that everybody looks at the 83 number. We look at that 37 number. That's the number we care about, and that's what's so good. To have a good shooting team's great, but to have a defensive-minded team,
You're talking about the Troy game that you won 83-37, and really, it was like for them getting hit on the head with a rock. I mean, it was a compelling performance the way you went out and shut them down, because they're athletic. They want to get up and down and run, and
yeah.
I know you were pleased with that. Let me ask you this: you're a Division II team. You're a team that, of course, eventually, if we get to play, the issue here has always been those teams that come out of Cincinnati, the Tafts and the Dunbars and the people like that, and the sectional district and regional amount of the tournament. But you've got a team right now, and I know some of the other coaches who've noticed you say, this is a team, even without size, that can go out and challenge people, because you can play 6, 7, and 8 people off your bench. Yeah,
we feel like we're a deep team, and our league's definitely challenging with 8 Division I teams, and us in Greenville being the only Division IIs. A lot of athleticism in our league, and it does hurt us a little bit this year that we can't play outside of the league and get challenged by some other teams. But no, I mean that's kind of been the call for this year as well. Since we lost last year, I mean we lost in heartbreaking fashion in overtime last year, first round of the tournament, and it's about the tournament. It's about the tournament this year. Let's try to put ourselves in a situation where we're ready to play tournament basketball and play our best basketball then. So it's working on how to stay consistent with breaks and games off and all those things, and trying to be playing your best basketball around that time.
I mentioned legacy a few minutes ago, and I think you know what I'm referring to, because there have been some great teams. You got Kyle Corbin here, who played on those undefeated teams with Matt Pond a few years ago. I sometimes come in and I watch a Ben Knosman and some of the kids that you have playing now, and wonder if they even know who Frank Goldsberry was, who Rob Goldsberry was, who Kellen Zawatsky was. I mean, some of the people who were principals during those years. I'm sure they do.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But that's important to you here, and particularly the kids that are playing now are important to your feeder program still coming up.
Yeah, it's Kyle's a great tie between that team and this team. We talked a lot about in the beginning of the year about, showed him a picture of, here's what the Nutter Center looked like, filled with red and white whenever they played Dunbar there. And I mean, just the fact that, when I was hired, like those were the names that you had to know and all these things. And I went back and watched some of those games, and Kyle helps us connect kind of those two things together. And, we said, listen, you want to be revered by this town and the way those guys are, right? And it's what you do, not just on the court, but off the court, and being good guys. And, we have some great people. It's just, I hope we can continue to, keep the train rolling.
I know Matt Pond will smile when he watches this, because he's almost my next door neighbor.
No way.
Yeah.
My Coach Pond, yeah.
He lives about a stone's throw away from where I do in Covington. I'll tell you another person who's got to be smiling now is Pat Wampler. Long-time board member here. They named the gym after Pat Wampler here, who passed away a couple of years ago, and she loved her basketball.
Oh yeah.
And particularly Red Devil basketball. So going back to the fact that people can't come and see this in person, it's somewhat symbolic that you're having a kind of year and have the prospects that these people they live for here.
Yeah, the goal is we can keep this thing going, the next coming years. But we've got a really special group of seniors right now, with Ben and Zach and Nick and Gabe, and it's a shame we won't have them back next year. But we're just hoping and praying that, hey, maybe if we're playing, late February, early March, maybe things have changed and we can have some more attendance, because I'm sure people will be packing the gym to come see us in our town, because this community really backs its athletics, and it's a big town. That promotes, kids first, families first, and our schools first.
Good things. Adam Toohey, best of luck to you. We hope you play a lot, because we are counting on seeing you a lot. We've been sitting at home, sharpening the pencil with no place to go.
Yeah.
All sharpened up and ready to write, nothing to write about. So thanks for taking the time. Best of luck to you. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Thanks.
All right, Adam Toohey, the head basketball coach, boys basketball coach at Tipp City here, and that wraps up this week. edition of First Person, the #1 edition, I should say, of 2021. We hope this works out to the point where, we can change this on a more regular basis, but we hope you'll understand in the meantime. Again, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company in Minster, Ohio. Great place to work, whether you're starting or finishing a career. Great supporters of good things in Auglaize County, in Minster, and New Bremen. Again, as always, we appreciate your support of what we do each and every week on PressProsMagazine.com. And for Coach Toohey and the sponsors, we will see you again next time with another edition of First Person. Have a great week and a Happy New Year to everyone out there watching.